Welcome, everybody. Today we'll be talking about the heart. So, when we talk about the heart, we'll be going through the different chambers and valves involved. We'll start off with the superior and inferior vena cava, which leads blood into the right atrium. From the right atrium, blood would leave once pressure is high enough through the tricuspid valve. After pressure changes allow the tricuspid valve to open, blood will enter the right ventricle. Blood will then enter the semilunar valve into the pulmonary artery, and that semilunar valve was the pulmonary valve. Once it leaves the heart into the lungs and comes back through the pulmonary veins, we have oxygenated blood entering our left atrium. Once again, once pressure is high enough after contraction, the bicuspid valve will open, allowing the flow of blood into the left ventricle. Here, we will be leaving into the aortic valve, to the aorta, and to the rest of the body. So now, we're going to start seeing blood passively filling our atria, and we're going to see the action potential of the SA node cause that contraction and that rise in pressure, filling our right ventricle and giving us our end diastolic volume, or EDV, also termed preload. We see our action potential travel from the AV node down to the bundle branches and into the Purkinje fibers, causing the contraction of the ventricles and giving us our end systolic volume. So end systolic volume is just going to be the volume at the end of systole, which is going to be our period of contraction. And then, once the blood leaves the ventricle and into the aorta, we are all set. So let's get started with a few of our math equations. We have stroke volume, which is the volume of blood ejected during one cardiac cycle. This is going to be represented as EDV minus ESV. And we have cardiac output, which is the rate at which ventricles pump blood. We will usually see this as heart rate times stroke volume. And lastly, we have our ejection fraction, which is the amount of blood ejected as a percentage of the EDV. This will be represented as stroke volume divided by EDV times 100. We'll do one problem. Stroke volume first. We're going to take our EDV and our ESV. 130 milliliters minus 65 milliliters, which is going to equal out to 65 milliliters. Next, we have our cardiac output, and cardiac output is heart rate times stroke volume. It will be 65 milliliters and multiply it by 65 BPM, and that would give us 4,225 milliliters. When we write this out and dimensional analysis, we write 65 milliliters over 1 beat and 65 beats over 1 minute. And then when we cross cancel beats, we get 1,225 milliliters per minute. The thing about cardiac output is we want it expressed in liters per minute. We're going to take our equation one more time, and we're going to take the unit for liters and milliliters and cross multiply. Here we get to cross cancel milliliters, and we are left with 4.2 liters per minute after we round to the nearest tenth. Lastly, we have our ejection fraction, so we're going to go ahead and plug in our stroke volume again, as well as our EDV, and we're going to divide it and multiply by 100. We get 0.5 100, and that gives us 50%. So our ejection fraction is 50%. That's about all. Thank you.